Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Sorry we're a little bit late. If you're watching on YouTube, we're not late. It's funny, there's technical difficulties. They're still flustered. I'm flustered. Flustering. You know, you thought it was you who were getting flustered. No, flustering happens. I nearly said apparently, but I stopped myself. So you've heard that there's only this, there's just this, there's no more than this, there's no less than this. There's no after this, there's no before this, there's no during this. But there is only this. So it doesn't, I mean, all that is bullshit, but what's been the attempt of those words is to stop looking for something else. That's it, really. So is there something else? No, there fucking isn't. That's the whole message. What else is there? Well, there's nothing else. Well, what about that? Well, yeah, that's this. Because as soon as you say, what about that? Well, that is this. What about that thought? What about that feeling? What about that imagination? What about that memory? What about that idea? Yeah, all of that. There's no exclusion. There's nothing. There is nothing more. So often non-duality is seen as negation, netty, 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 not that, not that, not that. But that's really misleading. Because yes, that, and yes, that, and yes, that, everything, yes. There really is no no. This is everything appearing. That's it. It just is not suggested. It's not giving you any suggestion. I can't give you any suggestion. And the whole sense of this, there is no suggestion of telling you what this is, how this is, why this is. It just is, isn't it? And you go, well, and I mean, the real honest answer to that, if I ask you that question, surely the very honest answer is, I don't know. Is it? Well, there you are. That's it. That not knowing, knowing from not knowing. That's the doubtless uncertainty. That's the peace that passes all understanding. There's no knowing whether you know or not. It's irrelevant whether you know or not. The only benefit in you knowing is self, for me knowing, is that I feel more secure in my knowledge. I feel safer. I feel smug. I feel superior. Now, this isn't about feeling inferior. There's no one that's superior or inferior. The equality of this for want of a better word, not knowing what this is, how this became to be, how this works, why anything appears at all, the impossibility of answers, any answer will do. Your answer is just as valid as the genius. I'm not saying you're not a genius, but no one knows more about this than anyone else. There is just life, and there's no one separate from life to know it. It's very powerful, this conditioning that we have, that of course there are separate selves, and each one has has a separate viewpoint on this. But that whole notion of separate selves is not how this appears. You've never seen another self. You don't know anyone else. And of course, you don't know yourself. You've made that up, and you've made up all the other selves. This doesn't appear in pieces. This appearance is, I mean, it's not one appearance. It's not appearance of oneness. There's appearance of things, but it's a whole appearance. And then the things there can be, after the appearance of this wholeness, then there's separation. Then I can say, okay, I can see the candle separate from the photograph. Or there is a candle separate from the photograph. There really isn't. It's a whole appearance. And it doesn't continue. In the appearance, and that's all there is. There really is nothing to hold on to. Which to self, who's been trying to hold on, self has spent a lifetime trying to accumulate more materially, spiritually, intellectually, relationally, more and more, and desperately holding on to keep it. And the liberation is that there's really nothing to hold on to. And you already don't have any hands. Even if there was shit to hold on to. And so there is a profound, what am I going to call it? Melancholy, a sadness that all of your hopes and dreams were fantasies. And by that, I just mean there is no future. There never was. There was never any hope of becoming whatever you'd hoped to become. This is the annihilation of that. But that's the freedom from that dream, from that hope. Hope is just the flip side of despair. Without hope, there's no despair. Because despair is the absence of hope, hopelessness. So in an absolute sense, this message is hopeless. But in the absence of hope, hopelessness dies too. There's no hopelessness without hope. This is neither hopeful nor hopeless. Without tomorrow. Without when I'm ready. Without when all the stars align. And there is just the simple wonder that there's anything at all. And by anything at all, I mean everything. Anything at all is all there is. This is anything at all. I had a fantasy. I had a fantasy of without me, because I had made me the problem. Without me being the cause of sadness, anxiety, greed, jealousy, envy, anger, grief, then all of that, what's typically called suffering, none of that would appear. Of course, that really was the spiritual fantasy. There's there's no with or without me. So my fantasy of without me was just another fantasy for me. So it was never my sorrow or my anger, regardless of how many times the adults told me as a child that, that it was mine and it was mine to control and mine to manage all of those emotions. And when I first heard this message, it was so liberating just to hear that uh, it was just there was a kind of, oh fuck, I always knew it, but no one ever told me. Thank fuck somebody's told me. At last, somebody. I always knew it wasn't mine. Somebody said I should be able to count and 10 to 10 and not be pissed off and punch a hole in my bedroom door. And it was like, well, no, I always knew I couldn't do that. And all my inability to control my my emotions just made me more unworthy, more not good enough, as we all felt, especially the sadness. Oh, don't be sad. Don't be sad. Don't cry. Or cry. For me now, I mean, there's nothing more obviously love than tears, whether they're joy or grief or sorrow. T- Tears of love. And so the caring wasn't mine, you know? Tears are caring. So it's like, well, without me, it's cold, it's uncaring, it's lacking empathy, it's no compassion. It's all complete bullshit. None of that is yours. It's just naturally human, along with the stuff you've been trying to get rid of, like the anxiety and the envy and the jealousy and I don't know what else all the deadly sins. Oh, and of course the lust. It feels as though the job of this job that I do on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. The job is to disappoint you. That's really what I'm attempting to do. Saying whatever idea you have, it's bollocks. Whatever idea of enlightenment you have, I mean, grow up. I mean, it's so fairy tale. It's like the ultimate fairy tale. And of course, this isn't a fairy tale. A fairy. This is just as it is. Whatever you tell about it, of course, why it's like it, how it came to be, how it's going to move from here to something else, all of that is fairy stories. But this isn't. This is naked. This is nakedly real. You don't have to know, well, in what way is it real? Well, forget all the philosophical answers, because, that is intellectual masturbation, which, if you like that kind of masturbation, can be fun. But really, it's not getting anywhere. There's nowhere to get to. I nearly said you'd be better off actually masturbating, but I didn't say that. Really, all I mean is that this isn't about an answer. It's about the unknowableness of this and the peace and rest that can come with the doubtless. Well, I'm not really. It does make you not really interested in other people's point of view on this. There is that. I mean, thank God some of you turn up and you're still interested in this waffle. But what this tends to do is you can't be that interested in, oh, they've got an answer, because I can listen to people, but I can only listen to those who are very clear that they've come to a very clear conclusion that there's no conclusion to come to. You can't come to this as a conclusion because this is the conclusion, however it appears to be. This is the end. So it's always, this is always the answer and the question. So you can get a little repetitive because you just, well, the answer to any question is this. And that's not satisfactory to those who want answers. And the irony of this isn't lost on me because I spent 28 years giving a test to 30 kids, making them suffer, and then going through the answers and giving them a score. I spent 28 years just giving answers, being the font of all wisdom. You're here, and so working on yourself, you already know that working on yourself doesn't work. I mean, you must have done, otherwise you wouldn't. I mean, most of you come most weeks, so you know that already. But then there might still be a shred of, yeah, but there could be something I could do. Maybe, hmm, yeah, it might still be attractive. The reason working on yourself doesn't work is, of course, twofold. One, it just confirms that there's something wrong with you, and two, it confirms there's someone. Both of which aren't conducive to peace in any way. There's no end to it. I'm not saying you're perfect already. I've read quite a lot. I've read a lot of the self-help books who were always saying how perfect I was when I felt like a piece of shit. And I'd read the self-help books and they go, "You're perfect already, as just as you are. You're perfection." You can just hear what myself would be. I'm reading it and it's just shouting. Don't listen. You know you're a piece of shit. Who are you trying to kid? My favorite was the affirmations around the mirror. So I'd put them up before I go to bed. I put the stickers around the mirror. So that's the first thing. So I'm preparing for the morning. So I'm going to get ready. I'm going to have a shave. And whilst I'm doing my ablutions, I'm reading in my mind. I never got to saying them out loud, but I'd read them all, and it would be, I am. It'd be something like this. So this is in my head. Thoughts. I am worthy. Bollocks. I am enough. Fuck off. Nowhere near. And it would just be like this conversation. And every time I said something positive, that would be a straight put down. Who are you kidding? Oh yeah, they're like this bollock's gonna work. Like all the rest of the stuff you've tried. I'm guessing that's familiar for most of you, or similar. Who are you trying to kid? Don't kid a kidder. Mm. Of course, we're so conditioned that trying is the most positive thing you can do. The most always the best thing to do is try. And if you are trying, try harder. Virtually no one ever told me to give up. You're not enjoying yourself. No one, no, I don't enjoy this, Mum. Mum didn't say, "I'll just pack it in as a bad job and never go near it again." No, persevere, perseverance. Well, there's nothing worse than perseverance. Now, it may make you a skillful footballer or a brilliant pianist, but in terms of self, there is nothing fucking worse. I really do feel that because all you're doing is aiming for perfection. And perfectionism is probably the most awful curse that self inflicts on a human being. You're not perfect. You're not. You're not imperfect, nor are you perfect. Nor are you perfectly imperfect, which I did say. I think I wrote that maybe in one of my books. And that's dreadful as well. There's no one to be perfect, and there's no one to be imperfect. There's no one to be as you are. Just be as you are. No, there's no one to be as you are. You can't be as you are any more than you can be as you're not. Really, give it all up. I thought last Saturday, my son Alfie, he was nervous about playing in goal, and he said he had a real bad stomach pain. And I mean, I am an old hack. I thought, yeah, that's not true. So eventually, after the game, when he'd sat out, really having a lovely time with his mate, sitting on the sideline watching his team lose because he didn't play. Hopefully, you won't see this on YouTube. Um, he said, I said, there's something you're not really enjoying it. You weren't motivated. You didn't want to play, did you? And he goes, no, not really. Because the other boys had said a few things last week about his performance, that he was not good enough. Anyway, he was, he owned up to being really sensitive about the criticism. And so I said, just pack up. I said, well, if you don't want to do it, I'm not bringing you and I'm not doing all the coaching and doing all this if you don't want to do it. It's perfectly okay. We'll do something else instead. I don't even know why I've told you that. Oh, I've told you that, because I said, just pack it in. I just thought of that. Who's the American comedian who, in one of his sketches, he was a psychotherapist, and the client comes to him and he goes, "Yeah,
Bob Newhart.
Bob Newhart, Bob Newhart," and I absolutely adore it. He goes, "Just stop it. 2 words. I've got 2 words. That's all you need. Stop it." If only, but so wonderfully you can't stop it, but any more than you can carry on doing it. Bob Newhart, yeah. Sorry, I waffled there. Well, if you want to share anything or ask a question, just put your hand up.
What a wonderful introduction, Tim.
Oh, thank you. Well, it was long, wasn't it? Thank you very much.
And I think you are a wonderful father.
Thanks. Yeah, well, I mean, I no comment. I'll get it in writing from my boys.
Jeremiah has a question.
Jeremy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was great. I was,
Cheers.
I think when you sort of go on these spiritual journeys, so they're called, as you say, there's like a background, like that character Steptoe, the old fella in Steptoe. There's always a bit of you that yes, I can do this, and then there's this whole Steptoe that goes, no, you bloody can't really. There's it's
Yeah.
always sort of there.
Oh,
As
as a boy, I absolutely loved it. My dad would only let me because there was an odd swear word in Steptoe, and
yeah,
I'm only young, like you, Jeremy. I loved it when I was allowed to stay up and watch. And the son he would be really enthusiastic and
That's
optimistic,
right.
wouldn't he?
Yes.
And then his dad would go, "Yeah, don't be so bloody stupid."
Yeah. So you go through life like that, don't you?
Yeah, yeah,
It's always trying to have a go and, bless us all, be the best, get somewhere,
yeah.
improve,
Oh,
develop your
yeah,
higher, this, that, and the other.
yeah. And it's oh yeah. I mean, I especially with children now, like with my sons, I can be so easily moved to tears for their,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
oh, of course, because it's inevitable. It can't be otherwise.
yeah. I know
He's got that little self who wants to be great and
exactly.
wants to be admired and wants to be accepted, and yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the unconditional love. It's all.
Yes.
It's totally. I mean,
Innocent, as you
in a
said.
sense that we are completely in the same boat.
Yeah.
So relatively, we're all in the same boat. Actually, there's no one in the boat, and there actually isn't a boat. But on the relative level, still, when we're talking, when we're behaving in a dualistic way and we're talking to other selves, we literally are in the same boat.
Yeah.
And if you're open enough to share with someone else really how it is being human, it's so obvious that, I mean, it isn't the same, but the feelings, the core of what it's like to be human is universal.
Mm.
And that's why it's great to do this. That's why it's great to talk to, even though you can't know another self, because there aren't any. Just sharing how it is to be it's the most beautiful thing we can do without being afraid of it.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, there's nothing to be afraid of. I was always so afraid of saying how it really was for me because I, it always felt like weakness, you know.
Yeah.
Especially being, we were brought up in the 60s and 70s. It was really, I mean, you had to be as masculine as masculine. Any hint of femininity was, again, so dangerous. And of course, femininity meant showing emotion, really. The only emotion that I was allowed to show really was anger, because that's nice and masculine.
Masculine thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been able to clear out, so I've been putting some of my old books from the 70s, from the thing that we were in, put them on eBay because they're worth a few bucks these days, apparently.
What sort of books?
That was
Oh, yeah.
the thingy bob books.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked at them for about 30 years, 40 years. And it really does bring out the old steptoe in me these days. You are the author of your own portrait.
Yeah.
Destinies are decided in just a single moment. Yet to escape a destiny takes a lifetime.
Oh, I'm trying not to swear.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not easy,
I mean,
not to swear in the face of that, though.
I swallowed all that hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
But that's all part of the fun, isn't it? It's
Well, yeah, it's all part of the fun and it's all part of the misery.
and the misery, yeah.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, it can feel. I mean, it can feel good when you do feel you're on a path,
Yeah,
whilst you feel you're still progressing. Yeah, progress does feel great to be. So
absolutely.
yeah, and it's quite intoxicating, isn't it? That
Yeah.
when you're on a journey and you think, and there is a sense of you getting somewhere, that's hard to. That's a powerful drug.
Very.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is only for the disillusioned.
Because a lot of criticism aimed at this from the relative standpoint, or from the point of the self, is that it's what do they call it when everything is meaningless? Is
Nihilistic.
nihilistic.
It's,
And in a way, it can be.
yeah.
From
No, it is a fair criticism though, because
yeah.
this can definitely be heard by self as nihilistic.
Oh, nihilistic, yeah.
Yeah, but none of you lot heard it as nihilistic because you come to these meetings, and I didn't hear it as not. I heard it. It was immediately liberating on some level. On very first hearing, it was like, of course.
Exactly, yeah.
On first hearing, so this is the thing. This will never. This is only for us poor few weirdos. Most human beings will always they'll either mock this or dismiss it as utterly nihilistic, or just really pointless. So what's the point? What's in it for me? Nothing. That's the point. And then they'll go, oh, and they won't even show any interest. Then it will just poke a few other selves, and they'll go, fucking hell, that nihilistic shit, that's really dangerous. But not many. Most just literally in one area and out the other. It doesn't touch the sides. Yeah, there's no. But for some, and I don't know, it was quite shocking how this killed me. No, how the preoccupation with this message.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all consuming.
Yeah.
And then once it's seemingly consumed, there's obviously nothing was consumed. I mean, it is like that. So it's all consuming. So what's it taken away? Nothing. There's nothing to be taken. There is only this. Now, I imagined and I had the illusion of everything that I had that I called myself and mine, but that was never owned, and no one ever had any of that. And if you see when you meet every human being, the equality is that they are totally naked and they're in absolute poverty. No one has any more humanness or less humanness than another human being, and that is all a human being has. Apart from the Lamborghini and the mansion, and I don't mean materially, but actually in terms of what they have as being, just being human. And there's such a simple beauty in that.
Yeah, thanks, Tim.
Oh, thank you, Jeremy. Lovely. It's funny. There's beauty in, like, I'd still like an Aston Martin. I mean, I saw one today. I've been out today, and I saw one. Oh, and I'm not joking. I just got a flutter. It was like, oh God. From childhood, it's like I remember when I got you could get the Man from Uncle car, and you press the top, and I think it was a Volvo, and the Man from Uncle would come out of the side window and shoot his gun. And I saw this, and I thought of myself having a gun in an Aston Martin, Bond fantasy. Nothing wrong with that. And I just thought, and then of course, I fantasized about him in the car, the guy driving it. And then immediately I thought, he must be a complete wanker. So I flipped it over. So, you know, because I can't be driving that. So I had to disrespect him. And all of that is funny because that all happened. I mean, that all happens in a split second. And that's nothing to do with me or, you know, there's no,
Yeah.
oh, I shouldn't have thought that, or it's all amusing, really.
Mm. All just happens.
Yeah. And the most incredible thing about this, I mean, I don't probably talk about it enough, is that there is only what's happening, and what's happening is nothing happening. There isn't anything happening. There is just what appears to be happening. Nothing has ever happened. I mean, there's nothing more peaceful than that. That is the absolute peace. So everything I've done, no, my entire life, the whole, you know, all my family history. Did I tell you I'm German?
You German?
I'm German. Did I tell you that? I've just said family history, and my friend has been researching my family history, and he goes, I knew it. I knew it. You never really were a passionate England supporter, especially when we were playing Germany. No, because I found out your name, your great great grandfather was Conrad Cliss.
Ah,
Yeah, he told me this week.
nice.
Not that that's of any interest, but
Das ist sehr ungewöhnlich.
my brother was interested because he said, "Yeah, I've always had an affinity with the Germans." I said, "Well, that's because you're a bit of a Nazi." But, yeah. So my friend's done the ancestry for me. It was interesting. It's only 4 generations ago.
Oh, right.
And apparently in London at the start of World War One, First World War, there were so many Germans in London anglicised their German name because they were well, in fear of their lives. People were going around shooting the Germans in London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So fortunately, my great great granddad didn't get shot because he thought Cliss sounds like a nice English name.
It is an unusual name. There's not many Clisses.
No, there's a reason for that. He made it up. That's real. We've always thought, well, where's the rest of our family? Yeah, where are they? No, there aren't any because he made it up. He didn't make it up. His son made it up.
What's the German version?
Class.
Class.
Klas.
I'm looking at my wife. She's German. Class.
I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an authentic German surname, apparently.
So so I've had to have a whole new identity.
Yeah.
So I've done well to turn up with the identity crisis of now being
Should we
German.
call you Class from now on?
Well, I don't mind. Class is good because it sounds classy, doesn't it? It's just it's quite good. I prefer it.
Mr. Class.
Oh yeah.
So classy.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a confession. There's a confession.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah.
Maybe talk a few minutes about when
About
you
what?
when you just said that you know that because it happens in a second how identity creates itself by flipping between two thoughts. You know, when you were talking about the Aston Martin, and then self sort of comes back in by you had to turn the guy into the jerk.
Yeah.
That whole movement, I think a lot of people think, if you're speaking about non-duality, that never happens.
Yeah, well, I just think here's the thing with listening to human beings who speak about this.
Yeah.
It's impossible not to infer that they will be immune from everything that I believe I produce. So
Yeah.
what self produces. So envy, I mean, there wouldn't be envy because I'm the one that's envious. There wouldn't be need to put someone else down in order to make me feel better because there isn't because again, it's me who would do that. What all I'm suggesting is that any fancy you have about what enlightenment, awakening, liberation would look like is absolute bullshit. And what will appear, what there isn't anything that will appear. What appears, appears. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no one having any say of it. All it is the claiming. So
It's the
it's
claiming.
just so identity is just so there is still identity.
Yeah.
It's just but there is here's it's not my identity. It never was.
Right.
But I mean, if England are playing, all joking apart, I'm incredibly English, passionately. Well, that doesn't need me to do that. You don't. You
No.
would think, oh, because I don't identify, there's no self identified with being English, then there
Right.
would be no interest in watching England play football. It's not true. It's there's probably greater passion than ever.
Yeah, I
And
think the person. Sorry, go ahead.
so the personal
Yeah.
isn't personal.
Right. That I was gonna say that's where the person, the human,
Yeah.
can get stuck is immediately they believe I'm the one creating that
Yeah.
sense of self.
Mhm.
Immediately they reinstate
No, but here's
separation.
the thing that I don't. That isn't the sense of self. This identity is not a sense of self.
Do you feel like I feel like there's a story about self, but then there's sort of a pre-verbal sense, like a body sense,
Mhm. Yeah,
it feels like
yeah.
a position being
Hmm.
held without even words.
I think it's a position that is this defensiveness that there's me and I
Yes.
need to defend this position.
Yes.
I hold this, it's mine, and I'm holding it. So
Yeah.
and you just think about most conflict, virtually all conflict is being self-defensive.
Yeah.
It's to protect myself.
Yeah.
And that's why self's so precious about beliefs. I don't get defensive about non-duality at all. And
Yeah.
for God's sake, I mean, who could be more passionate about this than me? It's all I fucking do. And yet I couldn't give a shit about it. If anyone who wants to tell me this is bollocks, I go, yeah, it's so true. I mean, there aren't many Muslims doing that. And there's even less fundamentalist Christians doing that.
Yeah.
Because this isn't asserting anything. There is nothing to be asserted. There's nothing to defend. I mean, that's why it's so beautiful. That's why it's unconditional. And because it's unconditional, it feels very incredibly compassionate. Because it's compassionate even about the lack of compassion. There's
Yeah.
love for hate. It's outrageous. That's why a lot of self, if most selves who hear this even a little bit, there's a fear of it because it is unconditional. It's just saying, no, there's nothing you can do about that because there's no you to do anything or not.
Right.
You can't even choose to not do anything about it. That isn't really what you asked me, Kate, but
It's tangential. Yeah. No, I was feeling it was sort of right next to it, and I was like, gonna try to go back to my point, and then I felt I don't really feel like weaving it back in.
all I would say is, so this isn't talking about the end of identity.
Right.
Okay.
It's the end
There
of
we go.
it's the end of it being my identity.
Yes.
And and what I was saying was that's where I think people get stuck
I think so. I agree.
is in the
I-
claiming of
yes.
that.
Yeah.
And it happens really, really fast. Is what
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
saying.
no. Well, it's sort of. Yeah, I'm not even sure the claiming necessarily happens.
Yeah, no, it's
More of a.
sort of
It's more of
remembering and forgetting at the same time. It's
a. More
not
of
really happening.
a. No, it's more of a flavor, isn't it? It's like
Yes.
So it's like the identity has been infused with meanness of mindness.
Yes. It's an
So the
infusion.
yeah. So then the identity appears, and it's sort of like already claimed.
Yes. That's what I mean by like it's a pre-verbal. It's not about the
I
words. It's an
no.
infusion. It's a feeling
Yeah.
tone. It's a
Yeah. It's bodily felt. So
yes.
the identity appears, and this bodily felt sense of
Yes.
me,
Yeah.
separateness,
Yeah.
really identifies with the identity.
Yes.
So what I'm suggesting is the identity can just appear without it being identified with. I mean,
Yes.
gets a bit tricky, don't it? But
No, I know it does, but being a thinker type me, that's sort of what I had to, I hate to say, slow down experience enough to see that that is what's happening. And when that became obvious to me that that's what's happening, that's when the freedom came to be with anything and not own it. It didn't mean experience never was shitty again.
no,
It just meant I could see, or it was obvious that
yes,
that person that I thought was claiming it is in fact is really not is what isn't there. The claimer.
yeah. Well,
So
and you don't get to see that the claimer isn't there. That's the see. I even have to sort of take that away, and so because the hope is that you'd be
that's why I
aware.
said it's obvious. It's not
Yeah,
seen.
no, it's not.
But somehow it's known. Now I can't go beyond that because it's not
No,
known versus unknown.
no.
And then that's when I just shut up.
Good thinking.
But I know what you're saying. Yeah, of course. Whatever. For whatever that's worth. I bet I bored all of you, and I apologize.
Oh, you haven't bored me.
Yeah, okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Uh,
I like that, what you said about identification with the identity.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
That sort of makes sense, because that's a bit like conviction as well, a sort of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
same
I have a
thing.
conviction that this identity. So what my mother said about me that I took on board as my identity, because she told you what you were like, didn't she? When you were little, you were already. I mean, talk about pigeonholed. By the time you were 3, you were told what your personality was and who you were.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, cut yourself a bit of slack. You didn't have much choice at 3 years old, did you?
No, and maybe and when there isn't an identification, it's hard to say there isn't an identification with the identity, because I'm not quite sure even what that means. But
Nor me.
when there isn't an identification with the identity, though, it's not replaced with anything else.
No. Can I
It's
add one more
just.
thing? Let me just say one more thing. It's what you're about to get.
Well, I just think Darren was asking me, but you've already decided that you're going to answer it.
No, because you just said neither do I. Look, I gotta say this and shut up. It's like identificate. What it is we think I'm the one that is I'm getting lost in thought.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That
And
is
the
it.
thing is that no, there is just the appearance of being lost in thought, what we call being lost in thought.
Yeah.
Good answer. Probably much better than I would have
So I
said.
just wanted to throw that in. But it can seem to take forever for that to be obvious. And I got stuck for years
Well,
reifying that position of identifying with being lost in thoughts. I
yeah.
built a watcher state and it became heavy, very heavy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like everything. I mean, you know, say I use the word obvious. You just said it's just obvious when it's obvious, and when it's not,
Yeah.
no, it's really not.
Yeah. No, it's really not.
No.
Yeah.
It's impossibly not. So I get
Yes.
why this is so frustrating. You hear me or any other speaker saying how obvious this is. And of course, it's obvious when it appears to be obvious.
Yeah.
And
When it's not,
it,
I hated y'all.
and
Ugh.
when it, yeah, exactly. Oh, I wanted to kill Tony so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Fucking bastard.
Ugh.
Yeah, fucking, yeah,
Ugh.
obvious my ass. So, so it's not. Fortunately, I seem to have a long memory. I haven't forgotten how dreadfully frustrating it can be heard when to be heard that it's obvious when everything thought is just screaming, not for fucking me, it's not. And if it's not, it's not. Don't expect anyone else to be able to sort that out. There's nothing to be sorted out. Because the not obvious is no better than the obvious. It just isn't. It's just as it is. I mean, that's the really dreadful news.
Tim, Lisa's got her hand up if you have time.
Oh, Lisa, yeah.
Hi. Yeah, I know we're over time, but I just want to say I live right on this river, excuse me. And it was all filled with ice and it got really warm and now all these huge pieces of ice, like there's tons of water just rushing and ice. And it's very dramatic and it's like and yesterday I went into the woods and I was like touching all the trees and I just felt like really good. And I
Oh,
realized that people really kind of I get like people really like I get really agitated around people, I think, you know, and
yeah.
and so I'm just even just trying to figure out what non-duality is. It's like, you know, it's just like, and so for me, it's like I'm just trying to see what brings me peace, what brings me, you know, to a
Yeah,
place.
absolutely.
And it isn't trying to like figure out whether I'm here or I'm not here.
No, no.
You know.
Well, no.
Am I
Well,
here or am I not here? I don't know.
There's nothing to be figured out with that, Lisa.
But what if I look at like I could say I could just be taken by this river and be gone, you know?
Yeah.
And it would be okay. It's like yesterday I was like, I'm okay to die. I really, you know, I'm okay. And that's a big
Oh,
thing for me.
oh,
You know?
that's beautiful. Oh, that's really beautiful. Yeah.
Like nobody gives a shit about me, so it's great.
No. Well, no. Yeah. Well,
I mean, they
I,
say they do, but I don't
well,
believe
I
them.
always, well, I think of that, you know, I mentioned like my great grandfather. Of course, I knew my grandfather. I didn't know any of my great grandparents. I mean, just how quickly human beings have no, I mean, we just think, oh, you know, this life is significant. The insignificance is, I mean, it's constantly being denied myself.
I know you look at a squirrel or you look at, you know,
Yeah.
they're not worrying about, you know, it's like, oh my God, I got to pay the rent. I got to, you know,
No.
where's my car? It's like,
Well, yeah. So the no longer attempting to be significant is or insignificant. You know, the lack of concern about that. I mean, again, there is great peace in that. It doesn't mean that there won't be shitty feelings and shit happening, but there is great peace in, well, it couldn't be otherwise. Now, this couldn't be otherwise because there isn't an otherwise. That's all. That's all I mean. I don't mean there can't be thoughts of, oh, I wish it, or there could be wishing it was, or hopes, or dreams. They can all appear, but this is as it is.
yeah.
And
But even it's like the wanting to be in a relationship, and then when it actually happens, I'm like, I guess I didn't really want that, you know? Maybe I just think I want something, you
yeah,
know? Because it's, I don't know why. It's the nature of, what does they call that? The Esther Hicks people who are like forever manifesting or something, you know? Your mind is always wanting this something.
yeah.
But anyway, I just it's weird because I want to talk to people, but then every time I scrutinize myself so much that I'm like, well, I shouldn't call them because if I say the wrong thing, then they're not gonna you know, it's just like
It's all right, Lisa.
but that's ingrained in me. That's just the way
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
raised, you
yeah,
know. Yeah,
yeah.
so it's just you can't, there's some things you just can't get rid of. I mean, it's just not gonna,
No,
you know.
that's all conditioning that, you know, yeah.
Good night. Good.
Good night,
Thank
Lisa.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, good night, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Jackie.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Jackie.
You're welcome. Anytime. I'll stop recording, so.
Yes, please. Yeah.